very good morning, guys, and it is the beginning of a very manic, busy, just messy week, as I quoted in my roster reveal. Very messy. So it's going to be interesting, and I did promise you that I would take you along this week so you could see a very realistic side to what it's like to be crew, especially with the yearly exam situation, which is where I begin my week. So today I'm currently at our, training centre, where I'll be doing day one of my recurrent exams. So basically what cabin crew have to do every single year is do a series of exams and some training just really familiarise ourselves with all of our safety procedures and just prove that we're still competent cabin crew, because it's very important. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Day one's always more chilled. It's a lot more revision rather than exams. I think they hold all of the exams on day two, and today is just a lot of coaching and a lot of practical stuff. So I don't feel as stressed now. Tomorrow might be a different situation, and I definitely haven't done as much revision this year as I normally do. Normally I'm quite on it, and I do like non-stop revision for 2 weeks prior to my exams. Don't get me wrong, I have done revision, but it's just not been as intense as I'm used to doing. So I'm hoping I've done enough, and I've always made the mistake in previous years of doing too much and then stressing out, overthinking things. This year I've just gone into it very calmly. I'm very calm this morning, which is exactly how I wanted to be. Had a good night's sleep last night, so I feel prepared. I'm going to head in shortly, and I'll let you know at the end of the day how today went, and I'll let you know what sort of preparation I do for tomorrow and how I'm going to spend my evening tonight. The only problem with Recurrent is it's very non-stop, early starts, and you don't really get a chance to stop and breathe. So it's going to be a very busy day. I'll probably be very tired by the end of the day because my day started at 3:45 this morning and it's currently 7 a.m. and it's still very dark for 7 a.m. To be fair, I am used to doing my recurrent in winter when it's cold. So that's always, one of the worst parts of recurrent really is how cold it is, because we do have to do a series of practicals outside, which is fantastic. Anyway, I will see you at the end of my day and I'll let you know how it's gone. And just like that, day one is finished. It felt like it went quick, but at the same time, it felt like it went slow. It takes me back to like school days where I would go back to school in a heartbeat, in the sense of how easy life was. I wouldn't go back to school because it's school. I hated my school years, but training takes me back to my school years. And yeah, lessons were like an hour long, but they felt like they went so slow, and it was the same sort of situation as this. Like, I did enjoy today because it's very practical, like I told you this morning. There was no exams. It was nice, chilled, a good refresh of all of our training. I can't go into my training specifically and what we get taught because that has to stay behind closed doors. But it is quite nice to get a refresher once a year, because when you don't teach yourself very regularly about these things and you don't go through a lot of the things that we get taught on a daily basis, it does kind of slip your mind. So for that reason, it is quite nice to get a refresher, and I do enjoy day one for that reason. But I do get to about 2 p.m, which is exactly what happened today. Once I'd had my lunch, I'd got my energy, and I was on that downward spiral in the day where I needed a nap. Like, I've been awake since 3:45 this morning. It's not like I've had a short day at all. It's been bloody long. But yeah, I got to sort of the 12-hour mark of being awake, and I was like, I'm done. I cannot take in any more information, even if I wanted to. But luckily we did finish a bit earlier today, so that was nice. I've come back to my hotel room, which I have booked for the night, which is just a Premier Inn around Heathrow. And I'm going to go probably get some food soon. But before I do that, I am going to take my makeup off, which is my favourite time of day, every single day. I do normally tend to pick up my dinner on the way home from Recurrent back to the hotel that I stay in, because it's the only time of year that I do tend to treat myself to a hotel, because it is quite a lot and I don't want to have to add travel into the mix as well as all my revision. So I treat myself to a hotel once a year during Recurrent, and I always get myself a McDonald's, which is a must. It's like my recurrent ritual, is book a hotel, have a bath, eat some McDonald's. It's just how it has to be, and just like my comfort while I'm revising, because it's a stressful time. It's important to have your comforts in between the revision and the stress. I'm gonna have a bath first though, because I just feel dirty.
Every time I put my uniform on and take it off, it could be for 5 hours doing a Manchester there and back. It could be for 12, 13, 14 hours as I just have. Either way, I feel disgusting as soon as I take my uniform off. I don't know why. Like, I'm very proud to wear my uniform, but I think just whether you're cabin crew, whether you do a normal job on the ground, either way, when you wear your uniform, you just feel disgusting when you take it off. I feel like everyone feels exactly the same regardless of your job. So it was really nice to take that off just now and give my face a good cleanse, put on a really comfy lounge set, and just chill for the night. I'm not going to even do too much revision because, like I said this morning, if I do too much revision, my brain is mush, so I'm not going to do that. That's a mistake I make every single year, and this year I've gone into Recurrent with a very different mindset.
I curled my hair the other day because Vic is finally home, by the way. It's really good to have him back. But I thought, do you know what, I'll curl my hair, I'll make myself look nice for him. This side's dropped, but this side stayed. Like, my hair normally holds curls very well. I'm very lucky in that aspect, but yeah, I don't really know how that's happened. Right, it's 5:30. I think it's about time I had some dinner because I don't want to eat too late, because if I eat late, it will probably keep me up. So I'm going to go onto the McDonald's app and order something to pick up from the drive-thru. If you haven't already done this, you need to get to know it because it's changed my life. Anytime I want to go to McDonald's and do a massive order, like if all of my family want a McDonald's, I'll put it on the app, ask everyone what they want, then when I get to the drive-thru, quote the code, and that's it. You just pay, done. It is so easy. So, oh, hold on, my mum's FaceTiming me. Sorry about that. Like I said, I'm going to order on the app and then go and pick it up at the drive-thru. But the good thing about doing this especially is when you don't know what you fancy, which is kind of me right now. I do have a couple of free things that I can add to my order because I've got points on the app too. That's another thing that's good about the app, is you can collect points, and then once you get so many you can claim free things. But I'm not massively hungry, so I think maybe I'll just go for like saver menu stuff. Something like that maybe, or even a wrap, I don't know. Like, normally my go-to McDonald's order is a quarter pounder with cheese, sometimes a Coke, sometimes a strawberry milkshake or a vanilla milkshake if I'm fancying it, sometimes a McFlurry, cheese bites normally as well, depending on which ones they have. But yeah, I'm just not really feeling that at the moment. Let me know in the comments your go-to orders. I'd be quite interested to see and see if I can get a bit of inspiration for my future McDonald's orders. But let's have a look. What can I claim for free? So I can claim 6 chicken nuggets. That's not a bad shout. I'm gonna get a McFlurry, I think. Some fries too. Please don't judge me for this, but one thing I love to do, and something that I picked up doing when I worked at McDonald's, is I love dipping my fries either in a milkshake or in a McFlurry. I just love it. It is unbelievable. It's not everyone's taste, but I really like the taste of like the combination of sweet and salted. One thing I also love doing is like eating crisps and chocolate together. That's very weird, not very common at all, but it's really good. Don't knock it till you try either of those. But yeah, it's one thing I love doing, so I think I'm gonna get some fries as well and a McFlurry so I can do just that. I've already got a Pepsi with me, which I picked up at the training centre, so I'm good for drinks. And all in all, so for 6 nuggets, a cheeseburger, medium fries and a Smarties McFlurry is £3.77. It's not bad, is it? Like I said, definitely get the app if you haven't already. This isn't like any sort of advertisement, sponsorship, nothing like that. It's just my personal opinion and something my sister showed me actually. And I would never go back. I would never order directly at a drive-thru ever again. I would always do it this way. You can even do it in store as well, so you can always be collecting those points.
Hi, just to let you know, we're only taking cash at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. I've just got an order to collect anyway.
Yep, what's your code?
It's AR72.
AR72.
Yeah.
Thank you, next window.
Thank you. It's just so easy. Just like that. Hi. Great, thank you. And when you pay online, you haven't even got to faff around at the first window. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night. Beautiful. Now the added bonus is they're still doing Monopoly at McDonald's. So let's have a little look to see if I've won anything. No. And yes. Oh my god, that's a good win as well. 6 nuggets or a double cheeseburger. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, 10 hours sleep later and we're back at it again. It was a good hair day today, which hopefully means I've set myself up for a good, successful day of passing all my exams, fingers crossed. Don't want to get too cocky, confident, but I'm feeling good. I've woke up in a good mood. I'm feeling ready. I've got myself a cup of tea, which is one of the best things about staying in British hotels, is the cups of tea being relatively decent. It's not the best, but it's better than most hotels around the world. And for breakfast, I'm just gonna have a quick yogurt. These like quick shot yogurts are things that I crave all the time. I love a yogurt for breakfast, like not a thick one, a thin one. So that's hopefully gonna set me up for the day as well. And I need to leave in about 10 minutes. So I'm in kind of a rush, but I'm trying not to rush because I know if I rush, I'll become stressed and I don't want that. So I'm gonna quickly down this, get my uniform on and head out the door. Although I'm really not liking the fact that I have woken up, I've got ready and it is still dark outside. One of the worst things about winter. Okay, I've just arrived for day 2. I'm feeling confident still. Let's get this done because, yeah, I want to be home as soon as possible because I have another early start, even earlier than today. This week is just a week of hell for me. I've been gone one day. He acts like I've been away for like weeks on end. But I love it. I passed my exams, so that is really good. A really good start to the week. I was feeling confident. I definitely underestimate my knowledge and underestimate myself and how much I actually do know. So yeah, it feels good to get it out the way. It's always a massive relief when I leave the training centre and it's all done. The good thing is now I can put it to the back of my mind. I'm not thinking about it for another year. Hopefully it's not for another year anyway. It was sooner than a year this time. I did it last in January and it was October this time. But yeah, hopefully it's all done and dusted for another year. So it's a massive relief to get it done and I can just carry on with my week knowing that I'm confident in my job. Anyway, what's on the agenda for the rest of the week? So tomorrow I'm actually doing a there and back. And if you watched my roster reveal, you'll know where that is. And tomorrow it's to Warsaw in Poland. So I'm quite excited to go to Poland. It's been a long time since I've actually been. I don't seem to do there and backs to Poland very often, and we do have night stops. And when I was bidding, I did request a night stop, but unfortunately I did get a there and back instead, which is not quite what I wanted. But I now know in future to not request night stops and just to let them happen as they happen. So I am going to head there tomorrow and back. It's about an 8-hour duty, so it's not too bad, but it's just an early start. I have to get up at 2:30 tomorrow morning, and it's already 4:30 now, I think. So I need to basically get myself ready for tomorrow and sort myself out, sort my bags out, things like that. But I'm not feeling the best. Like, I feel a little bit like sort of the beginnings of cold. Like, I've got kind of achy shoulders and I keep sneezing and I just feel it overall just quite bleh. Like, I can just, you know, you can feel it brewing. So I feel like I've got that coming, which I do tend to get a cold around this time of year anyway, so I should have really expected it. But I guess with the stress of my recurrent and also with a busy rest of the week ahead, it's probably not a great thing that I do have a cold now, because I know it's just going to get worse before it gets better. But I do have the weekend off ahead of me, so that'd be quite nice to just chill and let myself recover if it is a cold that's coming. But after my Warsaw tomorrow, I am then doing standby for the rest of my week. It is my month of standby. We do have standby every other month, where on the first day I sit at the airport, and if I'm not called, I then come home for the rest of my standby block and just sit at home on call for set amounts of time. And again, just await a phone call if I'm needed. So we'll see what happens with that. I also do need to sort my case out for that as well, because I know when I get back from my there and back tomorrow, it's not exactly going to be on my priority list.
almost done for standby, but I have to say this time of year is the worst time to pack overall, because you could either be sent to cold New York where it's really starting to get cold now, or you could be sent to somewhere like Egypt where it's boiling hot. There's just not really any in between. Maybe a little bit in Europe, but I guess the most I could be called for really is a there and back, maybe a short night stop, but even then there's not really any point in going out. So there's so many different things you can be called for, so many different scenarios you have to prepare for weather-wise. It's virtually impossible to jam it all into a cabin suitcase, but I have figured it out, so we will see if I actually get called. I think it's bedtime, don't you? Oh, I definitely think so.
When it hits the halfway point in my week, which is what it is right now, we're day 3 of 6, these early starts, 2:44 in the morning, just become a bit much. A bit over them right now. Only one left, and then it becomes a bit more normal as the week progresses if I'm not called off standby tomorrow. But let's get ready to go to Poland.
He's always here when I arrive home. Little cutie. Although he keeps nose diving into mud, so that's why his face is covered.
We have this sachet of oust. There's another one at the bottom. So maybe I can do like my rice flour and stuff in here. Maybe 5 to beat the traffic. And room, and we're surrounded by beautiful clothing. And oat flat white.
It just feels so good to have fresh hair, not a single drop of hairspray in it. It was getting to the point where 3-day-old hair full of hairspray was not feeling good. So it feels really nice to just feel fresh. But I want to show you the product. I want to show you the products that I just put on my hair actually. You would have seen me spraying them. So the first thing is, my hair is dead straight. It looks like I've straightened it. Like, normally my hair is naturally quite fluffy, but the product I use just completely flattens it and it feels incredible. And that's the Colourwell Dream Coat spray. So this one is quite expensive. It's like £25, I think, £20. But I got it in Sephora in the US when it's a little bit cheaper. Not so much anymore because of the pound-dollar difference. It's crazy, but yeah, I got it a bit cheaper. It's so good, honestly. It was viral on TikTok for ages, so it was impossible to get, but I've been using this for probably about 3 months now, and I use it every sort of 3-4 washes. My hairdresser told me to do it, and honestly it works miracles. It feels so nice, and just my hair feels so hydrated. And considering I fly, I felt like at one point that was virtually impossible to just maintain hydration in my hair, but I've really got it in a good condition. I use Olaplex to shampoo, use the Colourwell spray, and I also use the Beauty Works 10-in-1 Miracle Spray. I've mentioned this in many videos in the past. This stuff I use religiously every single wash. So when it's damp and before I'm about to dry it, pop this all over my hair because it's a heat protectant as well as does so many other things to help hydrate and keep your hair feeling healthy. So this one's really, really good. This is about £10, so definitely worth it, and it lasts so long. So does this one. I've had this, like I said, about 3 months, and I'm definitely about halfway now, so a good 6 months I would say these both last you. They're my go-to hair products for really healthy, thick hair. So the Olaplex, Colourwell, and the Beauty Works 10-in-1 Miracle Spray are my 3 go-tos without fail. Yes, they are expensive, but you do have to pay sometimes to get really good hair. You can't just be buying the cheap £1 conditioners in Asda, Tesco, and expect the same sort of results. You just cannot. Again, not sponsored, just my personal opinion. So the current time is 5:15 exactly. So I didn't technically need to be in bed till about 6:30. But I think I'm just going to go to bed anyway because I'm so tired, and I feel like an extra hour in bed will really help me out for tomorrow. I am on standby from 5:45 in the morning until 11:45. So it's a 6-hour duty. It doesn't sound bad because it's not really a long time, but when you're just sat at the airport doing nothing, there's not really a whole lot you can do. I mean, my recurrent's out the way, so I can't even revise for that. We do have like a quiet room. I might go and sit in there and even try and catch up on some more sleep. But apart from that, I can just sit there and watch stuff. So that's pretty much my plan, I think. I was going to bring my laptop with me and maybe edit some stuff for YouTube, but that's another thing to drag around. And the idea of that is just not, I'm not vibing with that. My laptop's really heavy too, so that's another reason why I'm like, probably not. But I will, of course, bring you along to my standby. We'll let you know how it goes throughout the day, like I always do. To be fair, I was thinking about it on my drive home today. It literally feels like last week that I did my last standby vlog. It just feels like it's been that close to my last standby that I did it. But hey-ho, time is just going by so quickly lately. I feel like all of my trips, all of my standby are just merging into one. These early starts never get any easier. Luckily it's the last one of the week, hopefully. I actually realised that I timed things wrong, so I actually need to hurry up. So I'm going to get dressed and head to the airport because I don't want to be late. Well, I lasted approximately 30 minutes. I'm off to Larnaca. The longest possible day they could have given me as a single day, so that's great. So I'm just going to get on with it and get home because my mood has just gone. This week has just been, I don't even know, like, mental. Yeah, I know. I should have known. I should have known that I was going to be called today. Like, it was inevitable. It's an early start, it's midweek. A lot of people tend to bail on the long short haul flights, and understandably it's a long old day. So people like myself are on standby there to just fill in the gaps. So that is exactly what I did today. So I ended up having to go and meet my crew separately. They were already on the plane, like when I got called, they were already on the plane. So I had to like dart to the plane, get a bus to the plane because it wasn't attached to the terminal. It was on a remote stand, the aircraft. So I had to go and do that. So by the time I got on the aircraft, I was like, I need a minute, like I'm just stressed. And yeah, it was not what I expected. Larnaca is, I think, off the top of my head, the longest short haul duty we could do. And I just feel like I should have expected that. But at the end of the day, I've done it now. It was a really nice day, actually. I met some lovely people, lovely crew. I actually worked with 2 crew who watch my vlogs. So Catherine and Courtney, if you're watching, hello. It's nice to meet you today. It was a really nice day out, to be fair, all in all. And I tend to find that from standby. Those really weird flights that pop up that I don't particularly want to do often turn out to be really good days because you get really good crew. It's just how it is sometimes. It was busy for sure, but I actually really like being busy. It makes the day go a lot quicker. And even though it was like, I mean, I was up at 2:30 this morning. It's currently 8:20 at night, so I've been awake for a long time, but it hasn't actually felt that long. I felt like it would have felt like a longer day if I were to be sat on standby for 6 hours. I've got some extra money in my pocket, which is fantastic. But I still have 2 more days of home standby on the roster, so I have to carry on those as normal. I have my case packed just in case I get a night stop, because I could just get a single day trip. So somewhere out in Europe, stay there for the night, come back, maybe do some links on that. I could be called for another there and back. I could be not called. We will see. I'm kind of hoping that the rest of the week just doesn't really bring me any more surprises, because I don't think I can handle it. I'm so exhausted. What are you doing? But you know what makes me very happy is the fact that I have no more early wake-ups this week. So tomorrow I start at 10 and Friday I start at 8 AM. So that might be early to some people. It is normally on my day off early for me, but compared to the 2:30 starts in the morning, 3 AM starts, it is a bit more of a lie-in, so I'm looking forward to it. But I'm actually going to go get Vic in a minute. We're going to get some food, and I think we're just going to chill for the night, because I do actually have a bit more of extended time where I can just chill. Yes, I'm exhausted, but I'm going to try and stay awake a bit longer, just so I don't fall asleep too early and then wake up too early and then be hanging around too much on home standby, because when you do that, and if you get called later into your home standby, you're exhausted by the end of it. So I'm trying to plan this well. Oh my God, I just thought I'll check my roster just to make sure
that everything's still okay for tomorrow because I hadn't checked it since earlier. And they changed my start time tomorrow till 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Oh my God, the lion I can have tomorrow is going to be immense. You don't even realise. And I'm only on standby for 5 hours as well, rather than the full 8 like I normally do. So that's brilliant. I think it's something to do with the rest time we have to have in between finishing and starting our next duty. The other thing that happened today actually that's just sprung to mind is I think I had the worst turbulence I've ever had. And I've had some bad turbulence. It doesn't happen very often. Like, I'm used to turbulence. It's a common thing. It happens pretty much on every flight. We do get bumps and lumps that we have to work around. And it does make our job 10 times harder. But I'm just so used to it now. But I'm talking, there were points where I weren't touching the ground. Like, the plane went down and up and all sorts of directions that my feet were not touching the ground at one point. So I was trying to make my way to my seat just so I could strap in and be safe. But it was a challenge. I got there eventually. I didn't get any injuries, so that's all good. That's the main thing. So that was fun. Something to spice up the day a little bit. Turbulence is always interesting. And I always get tons of questions from passengers after it happens. Like, oh, you're used to this? Does this happen often? Aren't you scared? And the answer to those questions is yes, it happens often. Am I used to it? Yes. Am I scared? No. The reason it doesn't scare me is because I always say this to passengers to kind of relieve them is if you've made your journey to the airport safely, you've done the worst part. Like, it's more dangerous driving in a car from one destination to another than it is flying through turbulence or flying in general. So yeah, you've done your worst part of your journey. You are on the safest part of your journey you could be on. Planes are so safe, people don't even realise it. And I don't think, to my knowledge anyway, and I'm pretty sure this is correct, that an air crash has never happened because of turbulence. I'm pretty sure. So if that relieves you, I hope that helps. Anyway, I'm going to get some food, get thick, and enjoy my night because I think I deserve it. Right, guys, the Crocs are out. Things are getting serious. Right, I'm all ready for the day, so I think I'm just going to potter. That's literally what I'm going to do. It's not going to be like my last standby where I was able to go outside, sunbathe, the weather was lovely, it was when the heat wave was happening. None of that today. It's actually a very cosy autumn day today. It was raining last night, so it feels really nice. But it's a good temperature too. So I'm going to potter around. There's things I need to do, things I can't really tell you yet, but you will find out eventually. Because of that, I'm just going to potter around, do bits I need to do, things that I don't necessarily want to do like chores, but this is the perfect time to do that. And let's just fingers crossed that I don't get cold because I'm so tired. I slept really well last night. I slept for like 10 hours. It's what I needed, but I could definitely do with a nap in between my standby, which I think is definitely going to happen, which is why my makeup's very simple. Well, I'm still here. It's 6:45. I've got 15 minutes left. What have I done? I did a bit of cleaning, so that was kind of productive. And I then got into bed and been sat in bed for like the last 3 hours. So not really been as productive as I normally am. Maybe it's the longer standbys where I am. But I'm just having my dinner now. My dinner of choice tonight is jacket potato, which is definitely a cosy weather meal. Well, that's my standby done. Brilliant. I kind of expected no call, to be honest, because it's 5 hours. There wasn't really much they could call me for, and even when it hit 6 o'clock, there wasn't really much they could call me for beyond that, so I kind of chilled out for the last hour or so, had my dinner. I'm just about to have a salted caramel fake Magnum from Aldi, but they are just as good. Anyway, on to tomorrow, where I'll be back to a normal home standby duty of 8 hours, which will definitely feel like 8 hours, but it is an earlier start, so I'll be able to sleep a little bit into it. That's one thing I didn't manage to do tonight, was sleep, which is kind of a good thing, which means I'll be able to sleep well tonight, ready for tomorrow. I could definitely get used to the 5 hour home standbys, but they very rarely happen. That's the first I've ever had it, but it's because of my duty yesterday, so I will not get used to it because I cannot. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, day 6 of 6. Let's get on with this. I have gone for no makeup today. I've done my eyebrows. I've done like soap brows. I really like soap brows. But that's as far as I'm going. Maybe I'll change my mind later. But I'm just not... My face cannot deal with another round of makeup. Normally on my days off, I don't touch makeup. So my face is a little bit like, what? So I've got like a few like spots on my chin, like very small ones. They're like the really small, annoying ones that won't go for a long time, but are really tempting to pop, but I'm not going to because they will scar. So yeah, I'm deciding to give my face a little bit of a rest today, just pop some mascara on, and that's it. I think I'm going to rest today because it's currently 5 to 8, so I've got 5 minutes till my standby, and I'm going 8 till 4 today, so hopefully they leave me alone or forget about me. I'm not here. Let's go with that. But I'm going to start editing this vlog, I think, and maybe get up to speed with things because I have been putting it off this week. I thought maybe I'll just leave it to my days off, but no, I need to get on with this, and it's quite a productive thing to do. And also start preparing my channel for Christmas because that will come around sooner rather than later. I am almost 2 hours in already. It's 10 to 10, so that's positive. I feel like once you get past a sort of 1-2 hour mark, you kind of hit a safe zone. So fingers crossed I haven't just jinxed that. We'll see. But I'm partially way through editing. That's the good thing about editing. I feel like it's hard to build up the energy to do it because it takes time. But once you get stuck in, the hours just fly by, and that's just what I need today. But while I've been editing this vlog, it's actually been quite entertaining because I notice now how tired I've been this week and how much the early starts have affected me. Because I've said certain words and they sounded right in my head at the time. But then I listened to it back and I'm like, are you okay, Chloe? Don't think so. So that's quite entertaining. Yeah, I don't know what my brain's been doing this week, but it's been through a lot. I can also feel that I have just started my period. So that's just a great way to end this week. I would love to have just been on my period at the start of this week, because then while I've been busy, I'll just forget about it. Whereas when I'm just sat here, not really thinking about too much, that's all I can think about is my stomach cramping, the pain. I would just rather be on my period at work while I'm keeping busy and it's not at the forefront of my mind. So my lunch for today is pasta, which is just a ready meal from Aldi. This is, I think, a sausage penne pasta. So good. Honestly, so much cheese in there as well. So worth the money. And a pumpkin cake from Patisserie Valerie. Not the healthiest, but I will go get some fruit in a minute to balance it out. Because, yes, I have not had the healthiest week, but sometimes you need treats to get through it. I cannot believe how cosy it feels. I've got my hot water bottle to help with my period. It's absolutely tipping it down outside. The clouds are like creating this real eerie effect. It's really cozy. I love it. Plus I've got my little boy here as well. Ow! That really hurt. Can you let go? Thank you. Oh my god, it's got worse. Can you see that? I am just going to finish up editing this vlog. It's taken me 4 hours so far. Stopped for lunch at 12 and it's now 12:30. So I'm going to carry on, then add these few clips in, and you'll have this vlog all ready for Monday, just how I like it. But I did try that pumpkin cake and I really don't know how to feel about pumpkin spiced flavoured stuff. I don't know, like some things I do like, some things I don't. I think I like it when the flavour's like very slightly there, it's not too intense, which it was pretty much for that cake. It was only slightly there, which is quite nice. So that was really nice if you want to go to Patisserie Valerie and try that. Very fitting for the season. I'm just getting a little bit like, I don't know, like these last few hours, this week has been so long and the last 3 hours are just going to absolutely drag. I know they are. I have 45 minutes left of my standby, so it's actually going quite quick now. But we've come to a slight issue. So it's raining still, really heavy outside, and we have a leak in our ceiling, like on the top floor. We live in a 3-storey house and the top floor in my sister's room is dripping, so it's been slightly stressful. So I feel like that will take up a majority of my night, trying to help my mum sort that out.
everything just happens at the worst time, doesn't it? Guys, we did it. The week is over.